can try and win championships, and that's what it's all about. When you look from the outside and you watch this team, I know we're going to have a real good, solid hockey team this year.
Welcome back to Fireside Rangers. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo, joined by my co-host, Eric Wilson, and we said it, Game 5 was a must-win matchup for the Rangers, and of course, they blew it. And Eric feels, and I feel as well, that there is really one man to blame for this devastating loss in this must-win game. Now the Rangers are moving on to the elimination game on the road. But Eric, it's Ryan Strome. Go ahead, rip into him. I know you're dying to do it.
I have been saying this for like the last 3 episodes that we've made of this podcast. I hate Ryan Strome. I always felt a little biased while saying it, but now you all can see where I'm coming from. He missed a wide open net last night that would have given the Rangers the late lead, and it would have been an entirely different game. We would be going into Tampa Game 6, up 3-2 in the series, looking to close it off and move on to the finals. But because he doesn't know how to take the puck and put it into a wide open net for like the 10th time this playoffs, now we're the ones on the brink of elimination. And, I've been saying this about Ryan Strome for so long. He's been our second-line center for a couple seasons now. He's not that good. During the regular season, he'll put up like 50, 60 points, which is like a pretty good stats, but it's only because he plays on a line with Artemi Panarin. When Artemi Panarin's doing good in the regular season like he always does, of course, Ryan Strome does good too. But then when these playoffs come around and Panarin starts to slip up a little bit, these cracks in Ryan Strome's game really get exploited to the max. You can't be the second line center on a team in the conference finals, have a wide open net in the slot, and then not even get a shot off at least. This series, we've played 5 full games. He has 0 points. The last time that he got a goal was on Carolina's third string goalie in like game 4 of that series. It has been so long since Ryan Strome has done anything productive on this team, and I want him gone. I cannot wait till the end of the season when he's a free agent. I hope that we let him go and keep Andrew Kopp because he is significantly better and would be so much better as our second line center. If we want to eventually make it to the Cup and win one day, it's not going to be with him on the team. I'm sorry. He's so bad. I don't know what else to say about him.
Yeah, I mean, I probably could have made that shot. You could have made that shot. Most of the grandparents at home listening to this, 80-year-old people probably could have put that one in the net. And I just don't understand how you missed that. Ryan Strome has just been non-existent in this playoff series. And of course, he's given the perfect opportunity to right that wrong, to change that, to finally show up and show out. And he just misses the easiest wide open empty net that I've ever seen. So Ryan Strome is the guy that we are blaming for this loss. He is the reason why the Rangers lost Game 5. But if we do want to speak more generally about why the Rangers lost, I think that it is their inability to score the puck in the even matchups. On 5v5, I mean, they really just don't have an offense lately. The Rangers offense has not been showing up. I understand Vasilevsky is world-class goalie, but the Rangers offense is not showing up. And Eric, what do you think that the Rangers need to do in Game 6 if they want to win this elimination game, which they're pretty good at winning elimination games, but what do they need to do offensively to actually turn this around and start putting some pucks in the net?
I mean, it's the same thing that we've been saying the last week while we've been playing Tampa. You got to get more pucks on the net and stop trying to be too fancy with it. The amount of times I've seen players like Panarin in the corner trying to make these blind passes that might have worked in the regular season, they don't work now. Rather than try to be fancy with it, make some weird play that isn't going to work, just take the puck and shoot it on the net. Look for a rebound. Have someone standing in front of the net to bury that rebound. Go for deflections. Shoot it from the point. Because those are the type of goals that are going to beat Vasilevsky. We've seen most of the goals in this series that beat him upper blocker. Why aren't we shooting there every time? He hasn't let in a single 5-hole goal the entire playoffs. Why are we still trying to score there? You got to go back to simple hockey if you want to beat him. It's like, I get it. He is a world-class goalie. Most likely, people would say best in the world. But we have beat him in the past. Game 1, we put up 6 goals on Vasilevsky, so we know it's doable. Why is it that the last 2 games we've only put in 1 goal? Because we're trying too hard to be fancy, and we're not going back to simple hockey, and that's what we need to do if we want to score and win in Game 6.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. They need to simplify the game plan, simplify the strategy. Offensively, you're seeing a lot of extra passes right before they take the shot. And honestly, they need to just rip it. Just rip the shot, put it up on Vasilevsky and put it in the back of the net. That's what they need to start doing. I mean, to the credit, that was a great extra pass to Ryan Strome to get the open net. but then he blew it. So I guess that kind of shows, even if you make the extra pass, it's no guarantee. You just got to put the shot up and put it in the net. That's really the strategy that I think they need to utilize. And of course, we're talking about kind of losing hope here. I know, Eric, you're saying you're kind of losing hope going on the road to Tampa in this game 6. It is an elimination game, and the likelihood of beating the Lightning on their ice in an elimination game, it's pretty slim. Pretty slim chances for the Rangers right now. But to the Rangers' credit, they've been phenomenal in elimination games all postseason long. They're 5-0 in elimination games this postseason, and it's something that they really need to use to propel them to a victory in game 6. But how exactly can they do that, Eric? Another elimination game. They're 2-7 on the road in the playoffs, but both of those road wins came facing elimination. So what do the Rangers need to do to basically get their third elimination game victory on the road and keep their season alive to at least see one more game 7 in this series, Eric?
They just have to give it their all. As we've seen all these playoffs, like you said, we play our best game when we are facing elimination. Our whole motto this entire playoffs has been "No quit in New York," because this is the third time that we've been down in the series facing elimination, and we need to overcome this deficit to move on to the next round. And during these games that we've seen where we are facing elimination, you see they're skating at their fastest, they're taking the most shots, and they're playing their hardest because they know that they have to. I think so. Like in this series so far, when we took that 2-0 series lead, our play looked a little more relaxed and laid back. We were a little too overconfident, but now we're in a position where we know that we need to give it our all if we want to win. So I think that's what they got to do. They can't let up any steam. They have to walk right into Tampa, expecting to score and win and fight their hardest. And that's the only way that we're going to be able to pull this off. And we've seen an exact situation like this back in 2015. This was the same thing. Rangers were down 3-2 in the series against Tampa in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we walked into Tampa in Game 6 and put up 7 goals on who was the goalie at the time? It was Ben Bishop at the time for the Lightning. Obviously not as good as Vasilevsky, but hopefully we'll be able to do something similar. Walk right in, make our mark, and force a Game 7. That series in 2015 didn't work out so well as we lost in Game 7 at the Garden, but hopefully we can rewrite history and come out on top this time.
Yeah, you love to see it when history repeats itself in favor of your team. So hopefully that's what happens with the Rangers. But Ryan Lindgren, who was the goal scorer in last night's game, he scored his second goal of the playoffs. But he also had a quote kind of just repeating basically what Eric just said. Quote, "We've been in this situation before, and it seems like we play our best hockey when our backs are against the wall. We've just got to go to Tampa and win a game. Take it one game at a time, draw from past experiences, and go play our best hockey." And that's exactly what the Rangers need to do. You can't be focused on game 7 right now. You need to win game 6. That is literally, it could be the last game of the season. The Rangers need to go all out in this game 6 matchup on the road. It's not going to be easy. It's a tough environment over there in Tampa Bay. And of course, you're playing against the reigning world champs in the Tampa Bay Lightning. So it's going to be a tough one. But the Lightning are expecting the best from the Rangers. They're expecting the Rangers to go balls to the wall. We've got a quote here from Bolts defenseman Victor Hedman, quote, "We expect their best game of the playoffs, but we expect ourselves to be at that level too. We've been successful when we've had the opportunity to eliminate games, and now we have the chance again going back home. But we're not going to hang our hat that we're going home. We've got to execute like we have in previous games." So, Eric, what is your thoughts on the Tampa Bay Lightning strategy? And, they've been really good defensively against the Rangers, but when you're taking a look at what the Bolts are doing and what the Rangers are doing, how are the Bolts winning these games and coming out on top? And what can the Rangers do to counter that and hopefully steal a victory in game 6?
I really think it's their confidence and their reliance on their goaltender, Andre Vasilevsky. You look at Vasilevsky's stats in elimination games. I don't know them exactly, but they're phenomenal. He has like over a 9.50 save percentage, multiple shutouts in like his last 10 elimination games. So yeah, they're confident. They know that they have a good guy in net who's easy to rely on, and they don't have to go crazy to win. They've been doing it for the last 3 years straight, as we've seen. And I think that they know that they can pull it off. And it's really just up to us to try to be on the same level as them. Go out and fight as hard as they can, skate as fast as they can. And that's the only way that we're going to be able to counteract that strategy that they have of just confidence and relying on their goaltender.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing that's been discussed by Rangers fans is the officiating of last night's game, Eric. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. I know there was a few no calls that the Rangers probably should have gotten, and one could argue that it kind of cost the Rangers some opportunities to put them in front and get the victory. But at the end of the day, I think it was 2-1 in penalties called in favor of the Rangers. I think they got 2 and the Lightning got 1. So yeah, maybe the Rangers should have had a few more, but they also need to capitalize on the opportunities that they're given. So what are your thoughts on the officiating from last night's game, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, last night I definitely saw a couple times where there was one where Panarin got tripped. There was no call. Kreider had his stick held, and there was no call. But like in general, I think the officiating has been god awful this entire series. Even on both sides of the ice, there have been times where the Rangers have taken penalties that they haven't called for the Lightning. I think it's just ridiculous how we're this far into the playoffs. You get to choose what refs you want reffing each game, and we still have these guys out there who are missing calls like this. Because even though, like, yeah, it's nice that the Rangers are getting away with some things, it's also annoying that the Lightning are getting away with some things. And I would just want to watch a fair game. I want to see both teams take their penalties when they're taken. So I think it's just a ridiculous circumstance that we're seeing right now. And hopefully they'll fix it next series for the Stanley Cup final, because I wouldn't want to see that series ruined at all.
Absolutely. I mean, the refs are trying to let the players play, but to some extent, they're probably letting them play on just a little bit too much. There's definitely some no calls out there. And the Rangers probably should have had a couple more power plays in last night's matchup. But of course, this is it. Elimination game, game 6 on the road. And really, this is the third series in a row that the Rangers have been on the brink of elimination. And I guess we just recap this game. I want to preview the next one. Eric, what is it? What do the Rangers have to do? Key to victory in this next game?
Find a way to beat Vasilevsky. It's that simple. You're going to have to put up more than one goal if you want to win and force a game 7. That's the simplest way I can put it.
For sure. Easier said than done, of course, but it's going to be a big game. It's going to be a really tough one. Hopefully our Rangers can somehow sneak out this victory and come out on top, and hopefully we'll be discussing a preview for game 7 in a few days here, but it's going to be a tough one. Can't really count on anything here. If you're a betting man, you're probably placing your money on the Lightning, but you can't really count out the Rangers either. They've been in this situation twice already in these playoffs. They were counted out 2 series ago. They were counted out in the last series, and somehow, some way, here they are in this series facing the same situation, and it's a crappy situation to be facing, but you got to keep in mind, if they do steal this game, they're right back at home, where I believe they're 8-2 in total in the playoffs, and they've got a really good opportunity in game 7, hopefully, if they make it there. But it's going to be a tough one, as you mentioned, Eric. They got to find a way to beat Vasilevsky. They got to actually finish on those open net goals. Shout out Ryan Strome for that. That man's got us all pissed today. He's got all Rangers fans waking up and punching the air, maybe waking up in the middle of the night screaming from night terrors because of that horrible open net miss. But
so
of course, yeah, I mean, I just don't get it. I just don't understand how you missed that one. But anyway, that's our recap on Game 5. And, of course, we will catch you all with a preview for Game 6 and a recap of Game 6 right here on Fireside Rangers. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss an episode. We're posting daily, if not every other day. We're trying to get out as much Rangers content to you all as possible. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video. Comment down below how pissed on a scale of 1 to 10 you are at Ryan Strome and how badly you want him off the team. You can put a 10. You can put 100 if you want on a scale of 1 to 10. I don't care. I think that's how we're all feeling. But also let us know what your key to victory is in the next matchup on the road in this elimination game. So that's really all we have to cover. So catch you all in the next one. Have a good one, and let's go Rangers.
Let's go Rangers, baby.
He shoots. He's